Unscripted.
Sony's own developers came out with some pretty interesting information. Some of it was meant to come out, some of it obviously wasn't meant to come out exactly when it did, but it's all good news for future PlayStation 5 owners, and in particular it really kind of refutes a lot of things that was being said negatively around the Xbox Series X fanboys in terms of what the PlayStation 5 could do and what it couldn't do. So there is, quite a bit of egg on the face among those people, and there is also quite a bit of new understanding of just exactly how well thought out the PlayStation 5 was by Sony. So this is definitely good news, and I gotta say, it makes me incredibly happy because, again, people run with the narrative that they want to, and it's nice to see that the companies kind of put those narratives in the back window by just basically denying them and then coming out and sort of making these kind of confirmations and things like this. So good on Sony's devs for actually coming out there and kind of straightening this stuff out the way that they did. Super important to do that. You don't want an unnecessary FUD out there sort of making everything look bad when it doesn't need to. So this should be a fun video. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. It helps out the channel and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys wouldn't mind just taking a minute to consider subscribing and hit the like button. That's all it takes, man. I put a lot of hard work into these videos, and if you could just like the video, that would be great. That's all I ask for in return, basically. So thank you guys so much. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You are fantastic. So with that being said, we did get quite a bit of information from Sony's developers themselves. Oh, look at that. It looks like Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't delayed after all, like a lot of reports were saying, as Miles Morales for PS5 and the PlayStation 4 has gone gold, according to Insomniac Games. Insomniac Games announced on Twitter that Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales has gone gold, meaning the game is complete and discs are being produced for its release next month. Insomniac shared the news on Twitter earlier today. I will actually go ahead and link this in the description so you fine folks can check that out as well. With a GIF showing Miles recreating the sneaker meme from the animated series. You can take a look at the GIF on the page as well. It says that we are pleased to announce that Miles Morales PS5 and PS4 have gone gold and will be sneaking into your hearts globally on November 12th. Be greater, be yourself. Now that the game has gone gold, obviously everybody can start anticipating the experience. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very big selling game. I know that it's just a sort of standalone, smaller experience than the original game, but it's still a Spider-Man game and a full-on fledged experience. So I expect a lot of people to kind of head towards this game to pick it up and sort of just see what it's all about. Let's be real, Spider-Man and superhero stuff is all the rage right now. So realistically, I can see that doing extremely well for them, and it does sound like it's going to do extremely well for them. So that wasn't the only bit of news for the developers and stuff like that. We also got some pretty interesting information from Sucker Punch Productions on Ghost of Tsushima, which again really kind of breaks up a false narrative about the PlayStation 5. According to this, the PlayStation 5 Ghost of Tsushima will be playable on day one via backwards compatibility, and I covered the backwards compatibility stuff in a different video, but you'll be able to transfer your save from PS4 and pick up right where you left off, which is another thing many were saying wasn't capable on the PlayStation 4 versus the PlayStation 5. So what are the big enhancements for this? Well, PlayStation 5 owners will get a game boost with an extra option to allow frame rates up to 60 frames per second, and while loading speeds on the PS4 are already great, just wait until you see them on the PlayStation 5. So apparently it's going to be taking full advantage of everything that the PlayStation 5 has to offer, which is bona fide great news, just for everybody that's kind of looking forward to being able to maybe play that game. Like I myself hasn't finished that game yet, but now I've actually been able to get my Pro back. I might finish it, I don't know. I'm kind of on Avengers kick right now, but going back and be able to do that, and also the save file situation, which was also confirmed not to be a problem for Sony themselves. It happens to be a developer decision. Sony has clarified in the blog post that cross-save files for both the PS4 and PS5 are a developer decision, and Sony has no mandate or control over what happens with games releasing on both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Their blog post answers a lot of questions over games that release on both PS4 and PS5, with some titles not bringing any of your save data over to the next generation, and others like Spider-Man Miles Morales transferring your save. Now, the line from the blog post states the following: please note that the ability to transfer game saves between a PS4 and a PS5 version of the same game is a developer decision and will vary title to title for for cross-generation games. So this obviously doesn't answer a ton of questions for everybody that had, you know, the kind of questioning what's going on. It's nice to have some kind of clarification on how the cross save is going to work, and if it was like indeed a like hardware based problem. But obviously that's not the case. It just happens to be like a case by case thing. Not really sure. I mean, is it really that surprising that honestly that two games aren't going to be doing cross saves from PS4 to PS5 when those two games have marketing deals with Xbox? Does that have something to do with it? Like, we don't really know 100% for sure, but it is very interesting, and I'll just kind of leave it at that. Also, this came back as well. This is a bit of a leak. It looks like the PS4 backwards compatible games will use some of the unique features of the PlayStation 5's UI as well. So Sony has confirmed in its blog post that PS4 backwards compatible games will use some of the PS5 unique features. The blog post answers a number of lingering questions that everybody had about the new console's backwards compatibility features, and mentions the compatibility between the PS4 and PS5 UI under the heading, "What is the PS4 game experience like on PS5?" And they had some very interesting ideas and interesting sort of notations about what it means. It says PS4 titles get even better on PS5. Select PS4 titles will see increased loading speeds on the PS5 console itself, and will also leverage Game Boost, offering improved or more stable frame rates. Some titles with unlocked frame rates or dynamic resolution up to 4K may see higher fidelity. Additionally, PS4 games will also take advantage of some of the PS5's new UX features, and more will come on that later. So it's not exactly clear exactly what's going to do that, but it may take use of some of the leaked features, would suggest that you can hop into a specific mission or part of the game, or that the background of the PS5 menu will change depending on what stage of the game you're at. So again, this is something that all kind of folds into place with what we were expecting, because if you go back to September, the PS5 UI was seemingly teased in a new patent by Sony themselves, which basically kind of gives us a kind of a good idea of what to expect. The image contained in the patent reveals some interesting concepts, including a panel of contents for a selected game, which features a quick menu packed with features like party setup, playtime tracking, restart button. Other panels feature in-game events, missions, hints, video content from the selected title, and more. So again, there is a lot of stuff that's going on here behind the scenes, and while we still haven't seen the specific PlayStation 5 UI, it's a good bet that this is probably the main reason why we're sort of going to get that kind of information very soon, and what it could absolutely mean for the future as well. So it is nice to see that you know, Sony's developers are not only clarifying their position, but they are actually going out there and keeping everybody excited about what's going on with the PlayStation 5 as well. So they honestly just need to really do a good job at kind of just keeping their modes of communication open with the fans and stuff like that, because I feel like the fans are the ones that really kind of push people and push these companies to begin with, right? Like, at the end of the day, without the fans, there's no anything. You know, that goes for anything in life, you know, whether it's music or, you know, sports or video games. Without fans, you know, you pretty much have nothing. So it is nice to see that, you know, Sony is listening to fans and kind of getting the information out there as quickly as possible. I also understand the idea that, you know, with a global pandemic going on right now still, that maybe it's a little bit harder to get that information out there in a professional way, you know, just with the way kind of everything is. So hopefully that stuff all comes about and kind of fixes itself, and, you know, actually kind of makes it kind of funny to me. But you know, it is nice, and like I said, I'm very excited about what's going on, and thanks to Sony's developers for actually going out there and kind of setting the record straight. It does actually prove a lot of people wrong, running with the false narratives and things like that. So it is a fantastic time to be a gamer, and again, as we draw closer to the launch of these consoles, it's you know, it's something that obviously is going to get people even more excited, and to be able to hear that, you know, hey, games are shipping, they're not being delayed, and they're able to kind of accomplish these types of things in the middle of a pandemic is always something that's kind of amazing to me as well. So hopefully that is something that continues to go on and go forward. So with that being said, I would love your guys' thoughts and, you know, conclusions on this. Are you guys excited by the fact that these games aren't being delayed, and that these games are in fact coming, and that it looks like they're keeping pretty well to the schedule, and, you know, and a lot of the narratives that were driven into this by the quote-unquote pro Xbox fanboy crowd turns out to be wrong, and Sony in fact has a pretty significant answer to all this stuff. I can still remember people saying that only 100 games would be backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5 at launch, and now we see that it's over 4,000 and like only 10 games aren't. It's a stark contrast to what's going on, and it's just kind of funny to see. I'm not really the type of person to save a bunch of quote-unquote receipts of people who were saying that on social media, but a lot of people were indicating that only 100 games would be backwards compatible. So clearly not the case. Nice to see Sony come out there and sort of take the reins of this and let everybody know what's going on. I would love your thoughts and opinions down below. Hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, Xbox Live MOH space Crapgamer, PSN just Crapgamer, and I respond to everybody on those platforms, so feel free to hit me up whenever you want. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch another one of my videos. Please take a minute to consider subscribing. At the very least, like the video. I very much appreciate it. Please be good to each other. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. All that kind of good stuff. Have a fantastic night. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.